Tom here, Flip Anything USA, having a little poolside chat here. One of the questions I get asked a lot is books I've read. And, to be honest, really isn't a book that would tell you what I do or how I've made my money. There's some that, there's some stuff, some contract stuff, there's some stuff on owner carried, but really I would tell you the best book is probably just watch my videos, because I'm kind of covering anything and everything that I've done. It's going to take me a while to get through it all, but I try to get to the point pretty quick. But what I was going to say is regarding books, even though I've read books by Dave Delgado, had something called How to Make Nothing But Cash. I remember it being okay. Robert Allen wrote one too. Charles Gibbons actually wrote a really good one, but that was more about common sense stuff. Charles Gibbons wrote one called Wealth Without Risk. And Wade Cook, he was a seminar guy. I went to one of his seminars, long time ago. And, I just remembered it was okay. I don't remember it being outstanding. And another one was, I'm not going to remember them all, but Albert Lowry, that's the other one. And I just remember there being a little something in every one of those that was okay, but not everything was good, in fact. But I'm happy really if I can get a paragraph out of a chapter out of an entire book that helps me. It's worth it, because that might be worth tens of thousands of dollars. So but what I was going to say regarding books is, As a Man Thinketh, that was a book. Some people say it's religious. I don't think so. It was written 200 years ago, but it was really just about common sense stuff, and it kept me motivated. And Think and Grow Rich, Earl Nightingale does an audio version of it. I'm sure Earl Nightingale's long dead, but Think and Grow Rich seems like I really like books that kept me motivated. So that's what I think is the best thing. I mean, you can probably just watch my videos, and hopefully that'll steer you to doing your first deal, because the main thing is you just get your feet wet. Because once you get your feet wet, believe me, even a small deal, maybe risk, $5,000 or whatever, or nothing. There's, like I said, I really did start with zero, but my eyes got big when I started making money, and that's what I want for you, and I want for my boys when they get around to watching these tapes. And but it was motivation to get me through the discouraging times. So in other words, it's kind of a numbers game. You try and you try, and sometimes you just miss deals. And I always like it when I don't love it, but I like if I get there and I just missed a great deal. Oh, it's painful, but it means I was on the right track. And if I was just a little quicker, and maybe I'd have found that before the next guy, let me tell you, there's so many times I've walked up on a property that I just bought, that I got a great deal on, and I'm looking at it, and like some lots, I was buying a lot of lots a long time ago, and neighbor comes out and he's like, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Oh, hey, how you doing? I'm Tom. Yeah, I just bought this lot." And they look at me and they go, "What? You just bought this lot?" And I say, "Yeah." They go, "When did it go for sale?" And I'm like, "Well, I just talked to the owner. The owner sold it to me." And they're like, "That son of a gun, that he told me he was going to sell it to me." That has happened to me so many times, because see, I took the time to knock on the door or be the first to call on the for sale sign. And so many people where I've come out, they're going, "What are you doing here?" And I'm like, "Oh, I own the property next door. How you doing?" And they're like, they're not particularly happy because they wanted to buy it. So talk about an opportunity missed, one right next door to you. And in all honesty, it's happened to me too. I had a guy, this is a frustrating story, had a guy I talked to for years, said he'd sell me the property. So one day I stopped, I said, I'm going to go, see if I can get this thing done. So I go over and I walk over and I see him sleeping on the couch through the window. And I thought, I'm not going to wake him up. And I left. And then a day or two later, I come over and I say, "Hey, let's get this thing closed up. Let's make a deal." He goes, "Oh, I already sold it." I go, "What? You sold it?" He goes, "I sold it yesterday." I go, "You're kidding me." And he goes, "No." And I was very upset with him, because he told me he'd sell it to me. But you know what? The same thing that happened to me that day, it happened to me, has happened to other people because of me, where I was the one that stole it or took it or whatever you want to call it. But anyways, I was so frustrated. I was so mad. And I thought, I didn't wake you up the other day. And if I'd have just woke him up, that property would have been mine. And now let me tell you what happened after that. So I let him sleep that day, come back 2 days later, find out he sold it the day after I let him sleep. Then I said, well, let me have the number of the guy you sold it to. And I called that guy up and I go, hey, you know what? I've been wanting to buy that thing. And I said, I know you got it. I go, but, and he told me he sold it to you for 110. I said, man, I'd really like to buy it from you. I said, I'll give you 130. He goes, no, I don't really want to. I said, look, I'll give you 150. And he goes, no. He goes, man, I plan on living there. And I said, look, I'll give you, I think I hung up. I was just so frustrated. And then I called him back and I said, look, I'll give you 175,000. And this is something that just sold just days before for 110. I wanted this thing. And he goes, nah, I'm sorry. He goes, I just want to keep it. And so I said, all right, well, welcome to the neighborhood. And, just said, hey, congratulations, it's a nice property. But, inside, I was dying. I really wanted that thing. And to this day, I drive by it, and it reminds me. So it's always good to miss a deal, but be hard on yourself. Be hard on yourself, because that's how you learn. And nobody's harder on themselves than I am, because I feel like I really know real estate, and I live and breathe deals. And so when one gets away from me, I take it hard, because I think that's not supposed to happen to me. I'm the guy that gets it. I'm not the one that gets it taken away. And so anyways, I'm kind of jumping around here, but what I want to say is, look, we got 280 people following in a very short time, and I expect things will keep growing. And I really like the feedback. I really like questions. I like you to answer. Like I say, these people asking me about books, it's good information, because then, I can come back and tell you what's important to me, which I really believe motivational books is probably the most important thing. There really is no book that tells you how to do everything that I do, but these experiences that I'm telling you about too, this is real, and so I've never read about an experience like I just shared with you in a book, but it's happened to me many times, and that's what happens when you do a lot of stuff. You will catch things and find things that happen. But if there's anything that I'm not covering, and I've got more to cover, I know. I've got a studio I'm finishing out, so I'll be able to do some real nice stuff, big green screen, and show properties or who knows what. But I've got a real nice studio I'm putting together that I'll be able to do some slicker productions. But really what I really want to do is I want to address your questions, and I want to let you know that you can do it. I've done it over and over again. That's really probably one of the key things is staying motivated, because it is kind of a numbers game. You look and you look, and sometimes you miss. But if you miss something, you just miss something. I mean, that means you're doing the right thing. You're getting very close, and then eventually you're going to hit. And you're going to make some money, and and then like I say, it's just that little seed. I showed the other day how $50,000 was turned into 5 million, over 5 million, a few or 20 something years later, and that was just one deal, and I've got many other deals very similar to that. Where I've made more money even quicker, and I've got some that just continue to grow. And so best advice, so people that ask me about reading books, let me just tell you, read books that motivate you and keep you trying. Always try. There was a book, I think it was called Diamonds in Your Backyard or something, and it kind of just went to, don't look elsewhere for riches. They're right near you, because that's the easiest one to access. And I learned that firsthand. That's why I tell people, stick to your own neighborhood. Look around your own neighborhood, because it's close, it's convenient, it's easy to learn and know what's going on. You'll know it without even trying if you inquire and ask about what sells and the properties. I tell you, another guy I know, he come to me, he's a friend of mine, and he says, man, Tom, I want to buy something, and he was a water meter reader. And I said, man, in a small town, I said, man, you've got the best job ever. I said, you are physically going to every single property in a certain area, and you have been for 20 years. You know better than anybody what's going on. Plus, he knew people, he talked to people. And sure enough, I said, look, start talking to these old folks that you're talking to. They might own or carry for you. And sure enough, he got a deal, $2,000 down, $60,000 for a beautiful home, actually. And in the mountains, it's probably worth 2 or 3 times that. And anyways, unfortunately, he didn't hold it nearly as long as he should have. He actually turned it. He kind of got panicked. He didn't want to have tenants, and I was very frustrated that he didn't call me because I would have bought it, but he sold it for like $1,000 more than he paid for it, and it was really a shame because, and he sold it to a realtor, and that realtor just held on to it, but he's probably sold it for 3 times that now or more, but anyways, main thing is get started, look around, and know that it can be done, and just try. You just got to try. Anyways, any questions you got, anything you want me to cover, but as far as the books go, like I say, motivational stuff that keeps you, that you can do it, keep trying, stuff that kind of reinforces that. That's really what I think is the best reading stuff for you. And then as far as real estate goes, anything you like that gets you motivated. I know there's some people that write books that maybe don't have that much experience, but kind of they're some of the messages in there are still good, But people ask me if I want to mentor. I really am not a mentor, man. I don't really want to mentor. That's not what I want to do with my time. This is my mentoring. These tapes, this is free mentoring. You can't beat it. Believe me, it doesn't get any better than this. I would be telling you what I'm recording on tape if you were in a conversation with me asking me questions. So I really think you're getting free mentoring with what I'm doing right now. And and I kind of share a lot of the other stuff that goes on that comes along with having a lot of property, the maintenance and the dealing with people, and I think there's lessons there to be learned as well. But anyways, hey, it's nighttime. I just wanted to throw a quick video out and encourage you to keep the questions coming, and if I don't cover something, I'd like to know about it, and like I said, cover the book reading. But that's it. So Flip Anything USA, Tom here, and please subscribe, please share, and please like my videos. That also helps get me indexed so that more people can find them. So that's it. Have a good night.